Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever looked at a really well-designed building and just wondered, how did they even start? How does an architect take a client's idea, maybe a vague one, and turn it into a real, functional building? Well, today we're diving into the very first, and you could argue the most creative step in that whole process. We're going to pull back the curtain on how a simple list of rooms becomes the foundation for an actual blueprint. Let's jump in.
Right? It's a huge question. It can feel kind of impossible. You've got this vision in your head. Maybe it's your dream home, or a cool new office space, or even just a kitchen that finally works the way you want it to. But what is the literal first step to get from that thought to a concrete plan someone can actually build? That's the puzzle we're going to solve today.
So here's how we're going to tackle it. First, we'll cover a super important step called programming. Then we'll get into the star of today's show, the bubble diagram. I'm actually going to walk you through how to draw one yourself. And finally, we'll connect the dots and see how these simple sketches evolve into a real professional floor plan.
All right, let's start at square one. Before a single line gets drawn on a piece of paper, every great design begins with a list. A list of needs, of wants, of must-haves. In the design world, this is called programming, and you can really think of it as writing the recipe for your building. Now, the crucial thing to get about programming is that it has nothing to do with design. Not yet anyway. It's all about gathering information. It's the process of figuring out what exactly the building needs to do. This means talking to the people who will actually be using the space every day, to understand how they work and what they need. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to a simple itemized list of every single room and space that needs to be in the final design.
And this is the perfect way to think about it. You wouldn't just wander into a grocery store to buy ingredients for a huge dinner party without a list, right? Of course not. And you wouldn't start designing a building without a program. That clipboard is your list of ingredients: the master bedroom, 2 bathrooms, an open concept kitchen. Only when you have that list can you finally start cooking up the design.
Okay, so you've got your list, now what? You can't exactly hand a builder a list and say, go for it. This is where we make the leap from words to pictures. So let's talk about the tool that turns that program list into a real visual strategy: the bubble diagram.
The best thing about a bubble diagram is how simple it is. Seriously, this is not about being an artist or drawing perfect lines. It's just a quick, free-form sketch. Each bubble is one of the rooms from your list. But here's the magic. It's not about the bubbles themselves, it's about the connections. The lines you draw between them show how people will move through the space, what architects call circulation, and how all the different rooms relate to each other.
So you might be thinking, why not just start drawing walls? Well, because bubble diagrams give you total freedom. They let you see your whole list visually and play with ideas in seconds. Don't like where the kitchen bubble is? No problem, just erase it and draw it somewhere else. Imagine spending hours drawing a detailed floor plan only to realize the laundry room is on the complete opposite side of the house from the bedrooms. A bubble diagram helps you catch those kinds of logistical nightmares instantly, before you've wasted any time on the details. It's basically the ultimate creative sandbox for planning a space.
All right, now for the fun part. Let's actually go through how you can make one of these yourself. And I mean it. If you've got a pen and paper handy, grab them. This is where we put the theory into practice. Okay, let's do this. First up, you take that program list we talked about. Next, just go down that list and give each room a relative size, nothing fancy, just small, medium, or large. Then you're going to draw your biggest, most important bubble first, like the living room or main office area. This is your anchor. After that, start adding in the other bubbles, keeping their rough size in mind and thinking about which rooms need to be next to each other. And finally, draw lines connecting them to show how you'd walk between them. You can even add little arrows to show where you think doors might go.
And as you're drawing, here are a few pro tips. Any rooms that need windows and natural light, like bedrooms or living rooms, make sure you put those bubbles on the outer edge of your diagram. Think logically about adjacencies. You definitely want the dining room bubble touching the kitchen bubble. You can even get creative with your lines. Maybe a solid line means a door, but a dotted line means just an open visual connection. And please, remember to keep the bubble sizes relative. A giant bubble for a tiny powder room is just going to throw everything off.
So you've done it. You've made this awesome, creative bubble diagram that really captures the flow and the feel of the space. But now, we have to translate all that creative energy into a technical document that a builder can actually use. So let's look at how these bubbles evolve into a floor plan.
Now, a floor plan is what most of us think of when we hear architectural drawing. It's that top-down bird's-eye view drawn perfectly to scale with all the precise measurements and details. It's the final evolution of your bubble diagram, turning that initial concept into a set of exact instructions. Let's put them side by side because this really makes it clear. A bubble diagram is all about the big picture, the relationships, the flow. It's rough, it's conceptual. A floor plan, on the other hand, is all about precision. Its job is to show exact dimensions and scale. It's a technical document, focused on the nitty-gritty specifics. Here's the bottom line. You can't build from a bubble diagram, but you almost never get to a great floor plan without starting with one.
So how do we make that jump? It's really a process of adding layers of detail and precision. First, those free-floating bubbles are locked into a specific scale, making sure the whole design actually fits on the piece of land. Next, vague ideas like large living room are replaced with exact dimensions, in feet and inches. And then, the soft, round edges of the bubbles are hardened into straight lines that become walls, defining exactly how each space is separated or connected. I think this is the best way to remember the difference. The bubble diagram, that's where the soul and the feeling and the flow of a space are born. It's the heart of the design. The floor plan, that's the logic, the math, the precision that's required to make that feeling a reality. That's the brain. And you absolutely need both to create a space that doesn't just work, but feels right.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question. Think about a space in your own life for a second. Your kitchen, your bedroom, maybe your whole apartment. If you could just wipe it clean and start over with a blank piece of paper, what's the most important room? Where would you draw that very first bubble? It's a simple question, but asking it is the first step of every single great design. Thanks so much for tuning in.